Every photographer knows that the best light is golden hour, right? Everyone knows this. Beautiful orange light washing over the landscape, contrast, shadow, color. It's all there. Everything you want in a photograph is there at golden hour. Now, take a storm and add it into that mix. Breathtaking. We're going to talk about it right after this. As a photographer, I love golden hour. I really do. Every photographer loves golden hour. This is not new information. I'm not the traditionalist, though. I'm not the person that typically comes onto YouTube and tells you how to photograph. I don't think you don't have to just stick to golden hour, okay? You don't have to. The best photographs that you shoot, some of them may not be around sunset, especially when it comes to storms. So I just want to say that right off the bat is that this is not you have to do this to get great photos video. It is a check out what is possible when that light happens video, because storms look great at any hour of the day. They do. Look at this. They look great. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. But when that sun lowers, things happen. Just saying. Before we get started, though, I do want to talk about the golden rule of storm photography, okay? Storms are awesome, but never, ever, ever, ever leave a storm before sunset. Don't do it. Don't be that person who misses out on the beautiful light and that beautiful scene. Just don't do it. Storms are going to look great at sunset almost every time. If there is sunlight hitting the storm, it's going to look great. There are exceptions on storm days where this doesn't work. Lots of widespread cloudiness, no sun is visible at sunset, that sort of thing. Just go home then. Don't worry about it. But if that sunset is going to be visible, if you can get to it and get that beautiful light hitting your storm, it's going to be awesome. Let's take a look at a few days. Now, this first day, the rule that I want to reference here is that if you have northwest flow and a southward moving storm with clear air to the west, do not leave that storm. Doesn't matter. I don't care if it's almost dead. Stay on it until that sun is completely gone, because this is what happens. Look at this amazing light. It's pink. This storm turned pink at sunset. It was some of the most surreal scenery I've ever seen. This was a really cool storm. Moved south over the Texas Panhandle, had no chance of producing a tornado. But as this day drew on, as you got the sunset, these colors were absolutely fantastic. So northwest flow days, southward motion, all those things, clear air, isolated, stay on those suckers until after sunset. Trust me, you're going to be happy. Now, this next one is from this last year. And the rule here is, even if a day isn't working out, if all your storms have not worked out, they haven't looked that great, or they might have, but the day is just not living up to its potential. If there are still storms at sunset, do not give up. Go make it happen. Because on this day, we saw a supercell. It looked pretty cool. Another supercell that did not look very good. And we were facing the prospect of about 30 minutes of daylight left. There was one really weak storm to our west, looked like a supercell, but didn't look too amazing. And we figured, hey, let's go get it. Let's go photograph it. What's the worst that could happen? Because again, you don't leave a storm chase until after the sun sets if the storms are isolated. We followed that rule, and this is what happened. Look at this beautiful storm, this LP structure, beautiful golden light. You look around though, it was everywhere. Beautiful light in the anvil to the east, lightning bolts, updraft. This was awesome. And then at twilight, we were treated to this. What an amazing series of events. Completely saved the day. Don't leave storms till sunset. Don't leave storms till sunset. This is going to be the theme of the video, I think. Now, this next day was, well, pretty interesting, I will say, because this was in New Mexico. It was my first storm chase ever in New Mexico. And this is when the landscapes are really nice, and they were around Carlsbad. Stay around those storms as long as you can. Frame those storms up. This is the cusp of this is like what makes monsoon photography so great. It's because that sunset hour with those landscapes, even with the most benign storms imaginable, makes for magic. And in this case, where we had a supercell, we had two supercells, and we were able to watch both of these spin over the open desert and see what that did to the landscape, that light and those storms. Storms all around us looked amazing too. This is one of my favorite shots ever right here looking down this road. Just an incredible evening. Once again, lesson here is that if you have a great landscape, try to make sure you stay on the storm. Just don't mix those two, please. Don't let that go to waste. Now this next one, the lesson is very simple. If the day isn't going well, if it didn't go well, if the day is basically over, and all you have are those blobby storm modes and not much left there, you can give up on the day. You can go home, or you could keep shooting at sunset, and you could see scenes like this, where this beautiful time lapse here with lightning hitting. This storm's pretty benign. I don't even remember if it was severe. I don't think it was. But look at this. And then once we got to twilight, look at these time lapse. Just incredible. What an incredible experience. And this was made possible because did not give up on the day. Kept going because sunset was coming. There was clear air around the storm. I knew something cool would happen. This is what happened. So again, even if your day isn't going well, the storms don't look great, you could give up on the day. You could rest. Because this was the end of the storm season. I was admittedly pretty tired. I get to that point at the end of the storm season where I just kind of like, okay, well, I've seen this before. But I kept going, and I got some really cool shots, and I'm really happy I did. So, remember, I think the lesson here is pretty simple. I think you should know it too by now, know it by heart. Do not leave a storm until after sunset. Don't do it. Stay on those storms. Stay on the chase. Keep looking for magic, because if you keep looking for magic, magic will probably find you. Remember, weather's for everybody. Never too late to start, never too early to start, and remember, it's for everybody. That does include you. We will see you next time.